Hello, welcome to White Door Tarot, where the reader is bubbly, but the readings can get dark. All right, now I am doing energy check-ins for all the zodiac signs. I did Aries and Taurus, so I'm going to Gemini next. Now let's see what is currently going on with the Geminis now that we're entering the second half of September. Just a general wellness check. Holy crap. Okay. Oh, we did see the Empress in the second half reading as well, I believe. High Priestess. Nice, nice, not nice. Okay, so, all right. So we've got the Five of Swords, Three of Swords. Feel like Eight of Wands is the energy that kind of snaps you out of it. Then we've got the Ace of Cups, Son of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Empress, and the High Priestess. That is some boss bee energy, though. The Empress and the High Priestess. Nice. I like how this ends up. For whatever reason, my archetypes deck is feeling chatty today. So I believe that it wants to play as well. I was pulling some cards even before this reading. And yeah, it seems like it's feeling it today. For the archetypes, I would like 2 cards. Thanatios and the Desert. All right, what's this about? The desert, the drought, the wasteland, the badlands. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day to day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' calls surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. This reminds me of a phrase that I've been using a lot lately with other signs as well, but it seems that you are sitting through the suck. With the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords, yeah. You are in a state of sitting through the suck. What really called or like kind of ding dinged with me when I was reading through this was, where was it? Lack of clarity and existential dread. This almost feels like that energy of like not I wouldn't say that nothing bad happened, but I'd say that like it was just on a random Tuesday. One day you woke up and you're like, what is all this for? Why am I doing this? Why am I with this person? What am I doing with my life? Kind of feeling. It's almost like just a sudden self check, if that makes any sense at all. And it feels like it's compounding every day. That feeling. It's not just one morning I woke up, I bought a motorcycle out of nowhere and decided everything's all good, but it's compounding and it's becoming almost like an intrusive thought, is the feeling that I'm getting here. Okay, let's see here. Thanatios. Yeah, and when we find ourselves in those ruts where we're just kind of like one day just what am I doing? Those are the tough ones to get through because you don't know how to fix it. And you kind of sometimes need an external aha, eureka, inspiration moment to, oh crap, thanatos, death. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as a transformation, but the true archetypal resonance of thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our hearts, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. When light, grieving, mourning, bearing witness to all that is. When dark, fear of insensitivity to old age, illness, the dying. Wow, this really is existential dread. Perhaps you experienced a loss or many losses of loved ones before, and maybe that's hitting harder than it usually does here lately. It's kind of like sudden consciousness of mortality. I do that every day. Um, Memento Mori tattooed to my arm. Almost died when I was 29. I hate to make light of it because this doesn't feel like light energy at all. This feels heavy. But he who is conscious of mortality is also conscious of life. That's the way I like to see it. You know, it's kind of like, yes, we all die. And it's important to keep that in mind so that we don't procrastinate or leave things to tomorrow that can be done today, so that we appreciate the good moments and the bad moments more and we learn to savor life a little bit. You know, because that's all this is. This is just an experience, just a temporary experience. And yes, our soul goes on to do other things after, and it did other things before and whatnots. But how do I put this? Life is precious, you know, and a lot of people forget that. And then they lose someone that they love, and then they think about it for a while, and then they just forget. And then we get washed back into the mundane, back into the day-to-day life, back into the 9 to 5, back into the, oh, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Oh, I'll tell them I love them tomorrow. Oh, I haven't called so and so in a while. I'll call them maybe tomorrow. And then they don't. And then they keep thinking I'll call them tomorrow. Next thing you know, they're dead. You know, that's, and I never really understood that. I don't understand why people do that, why they just forget that we're all going to die. I mean, I know it's a morbid subject and people tend to try to do the polite thing and avoid talking about it, but you know, death is just part of life. It's where we're all headed, and the thing is that none of us know when. None of us know how much time we have left, so why do we always assume that we have more, right? And so, yeah, what this is feels similar to that kind of a remembering of, oh yeah, we die. On the flip side of that, though, you know, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups, Son of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, then the Empress and the High Priestess. So I feel like you snap out of it. Maybe you already have snapped out of it. Or maybe this was what you needed to snap out of it. But either way, you snap out of it. And then you come out more in your heart. Ace of Cups, Son of Cups. This doesn't feel like a love offer or anything external like that. It feels like something new blossoming within your own chest. Nine of Pentacles, contentment. And that's kind of the conclusion that we always wind up at, huh? Is like we have that jolting, oh, we all die in the end. What am I doing with my life? Am I really okay going the way that I'm going? And then we have this like self check moment. And then we have that like aha moment, like, oh yeah, actually, on the flip side of this, we all die. So life is precious. And then you kind of get a little, mushy gushy with your friends, or you get a little extra lovey with your partner or whatever because you had that aha eureka moment. Oh yeah, I I am going to lose them or they're going to lose me someday. That's how this ends. In a relationship that lasts forever, there is no such thing as forever. We're in mortal bodies. So one of you is going to die first. That's how that ends. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it while you have it. You can't treasure it while you have it, right? And then in the end, we have the Empress and the High Priestess. And this is someone that is more well balanced, more in their heart. Because the Empress is all the queens rolled into one, right? And this feels like maybe what you needed was a little more oomph in your root chakra and a little more oomph in your heart chakra. And you get there to a more well balanced place. And then we have the High Priestess. Didn't the Thanatos, was it Thanatos or the Desert that said something about coming out with better intuition? Something like that. That feels linked. Anything else? Daughter of Swords, Nine of Cups. To go with the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. This feels like a softer approach at communication, too. Because the Daughter of Swords is a sword card, but she is also, I feel, more in her heart. My cats are wrestling in front of me. Yeah. This was definitely tied to a loss. Maybe you're more in your feels about it than usual. Ace of Swords. Four of Swords. You know what? This might also mean cutting something off. The World, yep, ending and beginning a new cycle. This could also indicate that you're making a decision to let something go. And I say that because sometimes when we come out of those existential dread moments, we start purging. Yep, Five of Cups, watering holes dried up. Six of Pentacles, your harvests are coming in. Maybe you're seeing joy in somewhere else in your life, and it only contrasts or highlights the lack of joy in another part of your life. My cup is closed, and so you're letting it go. Ironic considering the Five of Cups is here. And then we got the Six of Cups, illusion. Feels like the mask lifts. You start seeing something clearly as you go through this existential dread. You're just pursuing pure, unbridled joy. And there's something in your life that doesn't make you as happy. And you're owning that. Anything else? I don't get the sense that there is, but we'll see. Mm-mm. Wow. You know what? The Geminis that I've been reading for are pretty decisive, I've noticed. Whoever I'm tapping into, very decisive. Good. I mean, yeah, cutting something off is going to come with its own fair share of pain. But at the same time, for example, you guys, you need to get along. And creepy, stop being so mean to Ernie. Anyway, like for example, let's say you're taking a trip to Italy, right? And you pack your suitcase and you packed it full of like jeans and sweaters and undies and like you kind of overpacked, right? And you get there and you want to shop, but you can't buy too much because your suitcase is already full with everything that you brought there. And so your suitcase is too packed for you to get anything new. And it feels like this existential dread. It's almost like you started looking closer at the contents of your suitcase and you're like, I don't know what the next thing is. I don't know what I'm going to find out there in the streets of Italy, but I know that this isn't the best possible thing that I could keep. I would rather open the space for something new, even if I don't know what new is, because I want to make more space in my life for joy. That's what this feels like. It's like you suddenly became aware of your mortality, of life, of creepy. She just butt wiggle tackled Ernie. You guys are missing chunks of fur. What are you doing to each other over there? Anyway, I gotta focus on the reading. But yeah, so what makes me happy to see is that, yeah, the Ace of Swords is here. That's a little bit sharper of an energy, but it's also very decisive. It's kind of a clean cut, you know. It's the least wishy-washy drag through way of leaving something behind or ending it. It's very decisive. It's not the slow death that people tend to put each other through because they can't decide or make up their mind or figure out what they want. But what makes me happy is that I see the Daughter of Swords along with it. So it's like, yes, you're going to be decisive, you're going to be clear in your communication. You've already made up your mind. There's no slow death here. It's very quick euthanasia. And then the Daughter of Swords, it comes more from the heart. So it's not cold, it's decisive. Not cold, cruel, it's decisive and warm. Yeah. I only see that part of it, and that's where it ends. I don't see beyond that. I don't know how this is going to turn out for you, and I guess you don't know how it's going to turn out for you because, like I said, it's like you don't know what the new is, what's coming next, but you know that this isn't what you want stuck in your suitcase. You want to open up the possibilities to whatever you find in Italy. So, Gemini, that was your energy check in for the month of September. And if you liked what you saw here today, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment to help me out with the algorithm, and hit the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one.